You know, men are just tired. That's how I'm going to open this video. Um, I was thinking about this today. Today's my day off, so I slept in quite a bit, actually. I guess that's going to be the norm going forward, is that, you work through the week and you get to Saturday and then all you want to do is sleep for the whole day. I mean, I feel pretty good right now, but yeah, I was just thinking, scrolling through the feed that YouTube and Google and Bing and all this stuff feeds me. That's usually what I do in the morning. I check my emails, I check my feeds, I check the YouTube Studio app. By the way, been getting some traction on some videos here. Very much appreciated, guys. Awesome to see the channel growing and getting lots of comments, specifically on my Millennials Are Broke video. I've been getting a lot of good comments on there, a lot more than I thought. So shout out to you guys. By the way, if you're new, my name is Joey. This is the Jigsaw0097 channel. I know I'm wearing the Eagles hat. This is the Super Bowl champions hat. I just finally got it in the mail, but this channel's not really about the Eagles anymore. But yeah, if you like this content, consider subscribing, like the video, comment down below. But yeah, one of the articles that perused across my feed today, and I saw this several days ago, but I didn't really have time to address it, is the new Democratic strategy of bringing back men. You guys might remember when this began last year. This began with Tim Walz, who was Kamala Harris's VP running mate. There were so many jokes about that. It was they were going to call him like the first husband or something like that. I don't know. Or no, that would have been Kamala Harris's husband, but the whole dynamic was screwed from the beginning. You have a female president and a male vice president. Like that whole dynamic was really bad. And of course, you guys, if you guys are following along to politics, the kayfabe like I have been, when it came time for Tim Walz to debate J.D. Vance, it was pretty much an utter disaster. Like J.D. Vance didn't even have to really do anything. He just kind of, all he had to do was like look at the camera. That whole debate was really interesting because it was actually an appeal to women. If you guys watch it, it was just J.D. Vance kind of trying to show women, like, look, I'm kind of like a young, attractive guy. I'm well groomed. I'm well dressed. And he kind of just was hoping to, not give women the ick, essentially. That debate didn't matter for men. Like, most men already know what time it is. Any man, self-respecting man that's paying attention at this point knows what time it is, as far as those things go. This feminist ideology is completely on its way out because, as I've said in the past, it is a luxury ideology. Only exists when times are good, times are not good. Men are not happy, men are tired. Like, I'm pretty much tired every day, no matter what it is. Like, mentally, I'm always, my mind is always racing. I can't really turn it off. I don't know how to, I just don't know how to do that. Never understood how to do that. I think a lot of deep thinking people can relate to this too. That, like, you can't really just like turn it off. There's that line in, one of my favorite movies of all time, Rambo First Blood, at the very end when they got him locked in the convenience store after he's went on the rampage, and he just breaks down, essentially. He just says, you can't turn it off, right? That's one of the greatest movies, or greatest masculine moments in movies in history, by the way. If you guys have not seen Rambo First Blood, highly recommend it. And I'm really kind of speaking to the younger guys here, because a lot of the Zoomers may not have seen these movies, but one of the best, you know. And that scene will always stick with me, especially as I get older. Like it really is. It really is not a world designed for us. It's not a world designed for men. We are the outsider. You know, we are the outsider. So yeah, the Democrats have this new $20 million strategy apparently. I mean, I don't even know how to take some of this stuff seriously. Like, I don't even know if I can take it seriously, because you go read about this, and, you know, they've got Kamala Harris back on board. They've got Tim Walz back on board. They got this new, like, fat chick. I can't even remember. I don't know her name, but you guys might remember. She's the one that said that she was going to, like, boycott food or something if RFK was appointed health secretary. And it's just like one of those threats. It's like, you're already like a land whale, like, you know, good for you, I guess. Like you're gonna boycott food. Like, how does this affect me personally? It's like one of those things. And then they're getting her to, like, talk to men. It's like the ultimate, like, HR lady. Let's just keep talking down to men, because that's gonna solve the problem, right? Let's just keep throwing ugly bitches at men, ugly women at men, you know, just the most unappealing women imaginable at men. And then, like, the LGBTQ crowd as well, like that's going to get forward to us. That's what they think speaks to men in the modern world. This is a completely failed strategy. And shout out to, I kind of do that a lot now on this channel, but I don't care. Shout out to Mirachuk Now is what his channel's called. He's a really cool guy. I've shouted him out in the past, but I was watching a podcast he did the other day about feminism and Andrew Wilson. There's like this really cringe male feminist. His name's like Oliver or something. He was on the Whatever podcast. And I try to avoid the Whatever podcast because it just depresses the hell out of me, to be honest. Like, I don't know how people watch that. You know, I watched the Jay Dyer one because I really like Jay Dyer. He's like one of my favorite YouTubers. But if it's not someone that I absolutely like, there's only like two creators that, like, I always want to watch. It's like Jay Dyer and, like, Dave the Distributist. Those are like the only two where it's like whenever they're on anything, I always want to, I'm always like tempted to watch it. But yeah, he's watching the Whatever podcast, Mirachuk Now was, and going over the Andrew Wilson thing, and he was just making some good points. Basically, like, it's to the point now where, like, not even women, like I'm talking like real women. Like, we know about the whole Shiloh Hendricks thing that's happened. Just like normal everyday women are starting to get really fed up with this as well. And he was basically saying, like, we're going to get to a point where the women just look at the men and just say, fix it. Like this is a very profound thing, guys, because one of the reasons men are so miserable right now is because, again, I'm talking about, like, self-aware men. I don't want to use the term red pill because I think that's cringe, but you guys know what I mean. Like, men that know what's going on, that look around society in disgust, right? Working in the office jobs, you know, working in the HR environments and putting on the masks, like one of my past videos. Men that have to do this every day. You know, we know, most of us know what time it is. We know that this is unsustainable. We know that women have way too much power, right? You can always judge the health of a society by how much women are in power. And the more women are in power, the more unhealthy the society is. This is literally biblical. This is not something that I made up. This is like a historical trend. And this is probably the worst it's ever been in history, because women have gotten everything they want. They literally have gotten everything they want. Right? If you can study, like, the 1950s, all the luxuries, like washer, dryer, you know, even like dish soap, you know, linoleum floors, dishwashers. All of these things were invented to make women's lives easier. Like, everything, women have way more power than they realize. Like, and I've talked in the past about how, for the most part, men don't really do anything if there's not, like, a feminine muse or like a feminine something to inspire them, and that is the feminine. It's the beauty. It's the beautiful. I made a whole video about beauty, about how important it is, especially to men. We're very visual. Men are romantic. We're very romantic. We need something, and if we don't get that, we check out. We fall into despair, and we get tired. We give up. Not even that we give up on ourselves. It's just that we kind of just give up. It's like they did a study on work environments, and they basically found out that if it once it hits like 50% women in the workforce, like just take any job, right? Say that you have a job with 30 employees, and 15 of those employees are women. And a lot of times that's the case in the modern world. A lot of those women will actually be your boss, which is makes it even worse. But just say that that is the case, and then you add like 2 more women, right? So then you'll have 17 women and 15 men. They basically concluded that if it goes over 55%, men basically just check out. They stop voicing their concerns. They stop talking openly, because they know, like, women are all, again, this is not really like a negative to women, because if we lived in a proper society where women were raising families, doing like the greatest job they could do, which is having children and raising our children and our families. If that was the case, this is an amazing thing, because women are nesters, right? They want everything to feel nice. But when you put this in the work environment, it's absolute hell. And especially men, when a woman's not a man's wife, a man does, or like he's, whatever, romantically involved. Again, I think the whole modern dating thing is stupid. I'm like discarding that frame at this point. Like, if a woman is not a man's wife, he does not really care what that woman has to say, or if she's not part of his community, or if he has no care for her. Men don't just like women because they're women. We like women because they're women for like sexual reasons, because we're attracted to women. They're beautiful. At least they were in the past, not as much anymore. But we just don't care if you're not like a significant other or whatever. I hope I'm like making sense with this, but in the workforce, it basically becomes that. It's like women are gossipers, they're very tribal. It's like, why would I go talk to, like, it's like at my job, like, why would I go talk to HR? Like, why would I ever do that? All it does is make it worse. I learned this actually at my last job, the one that I held for almost 10 years, is that if you go to HR, it just puts like all these new expectations on you, and then they actually have like the eye of Sauron on you, is what I call it. Like, now they're looking at you, and that I've talked about that in the past. The term human resources is quite literally that. They look at you as a resource, and women are very conformist, so like they really follow these guidelines and blah blah blah. I'm kind of ranting, so. Yeah, I basically, I think we're almost to that point, guys, where it's just like the women, I don't even think a lot of women want to be in the workforce either. Like, it just depends on where you're at, but, I meet plenty of women that are just kind of like fed up with this too. They're kind of like, a lot of women, especially my age and younger, it's like they never really they never really had a choice for this anyway. Like, all the feminism and all the women's rights crap was put into place way before, like even before it started before the boomers really pushed it through. And then now the millennials, my generation, one of the reasons why we're such an awful generation is because we took the propaganda of the boomers, and we just like took it to heart and made it a religion. That's where like woke comes from. Like, we actually internalized it to the point of like spiritual experiences. It's like we took the hippie thing seriously. It's very cringe to think about. But I might make a whole nother video on just like, well, I was already going to do this, to be honest. I'm going to make videos on generations. I haven't got around to that yet, but the millennial generation in particular is going to be a pretty sobering one. But yeah, I mean, men are just tired, guys. I'm tired. I don't even like going to work. You know, I need to make money. That's another thing about when you have no like woman in your life. It starts to literally just become like a game of pragmatism. It's like, okay, I need money, but like I can live. It's like the meme where you see the bed and the desk and that's all that's in the room, right? I'm not really like that. I'm not as minimalist, but men can literally live like that. Like without a woman, they can just kind of like, okay, what is the pragmatism kicks in? It's like, what is the bare minimum that I need to survive? And then I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do the bare minimum to survive. I'm going to just buy a bed, a house, like a very small house if I could, you know, save up for that. And then just get like a really cheap car or truck. A lot of guys get trucks. And then just food, basically. Internet and food and like video games. It's something that helps me. I don't know how to explain it. Like people ask me why I still play video games at this age. It's like there's like demons in my brain. That's the only way I can explain that. It holds the demons at bay. It gives me something to do. Because reading doesn't really help that. The more you read, the more, like, especially if you read nonfiction. I even got asked that question by my dad the other day, and I kind of had to think about it. He's like, why do you read all this stuff if it's so depressing? And I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I just have to know. That was like the answer I gave him. I was like, I just have to know. I can't just like stick my head in the sand, you know. I have to know. After COVID especially, it's like I just had to know what was going on. Like, why are people this way? Why is it like this? And, you know, obviously I know now. That's why I make these videos. And if you guys are watching these videos, you guys get to be cursed with the same knowledge that I have. By the way, if you guys are watching, again, this is Joey. This is the Jigsaw 0097 channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Appreciate it very much. Love to hear from you guys, actually. I like when I get a lot of comments. You know, it helps me break up the monotony of the day. I can go into the studio and check out what you guys are saying. Reply. You know, I try really hard to reply to all of the comments within reason. Some of them are just stupid. They're not worth replying. But for the most part, I've been getting some good ones, so... Yeah, I don't know how much longer this video is going to be. I did do a poll on my channel about if you guys like the longer form or the shorter form, and it was pretty much split. I'm going to keep doing polls like that in the future just so I can kind of get like a vibe check. You know, as I get more subscribers, especially like once I break over 1,000, I'll for sure do another one. But just kind of want to, like, you know, interact with you guys, see what kind of content you like. So I don't know. This video, though, it still needs to be addressed, though. So, like, the Democrats are trying to bring back men. What is the problem with that, guys? The problem is that this entire party has built its existence off of telling men that they suck. That's the only reason the Democrats even exist at this point, is to just shit on men. Right? Like I always say, like, racism, I don't really buy into the term. To me, it's just pattern recognition. But, you know, Obama was the one that really kind of started the tribal warfare, you could say, because he was a complete psyop. He came in and he pretended like, oh, I'm going to be all for America. And then the first thing he started doing was helping out his own tribe. This should be a lesson, guys. It's the one thing why race realism matters, is because they look out for themselves. We're the only ones, white people. We're the only ones that are told that if we look out for ourselves, then that equals, you know, mid-century Germany or something. It's absolutely ridiculous. So he brought that back. And then, of course, men as well. If you're straight, white, male, you are the devil. That is the devil of this new orthodoxy, this evil, secular, man-made religion that the millennials took with. They really grabbed the football and ran with it. And now we live in this just absolute immoral, no justification for morality hellscape that we live in. And the Democratic Party wants to bring back men. You know, it's kind of a white pill, though, if you think about it, because they are so desperate there literally is no way they could win anything at this point without severe violence or rigging the election. Again, YouTube, not advocating for violence. I don't want that. Honestly, I don't want that to happen. But those are their only two options at this point because, democracy, as much as that's even a thing. I might just stop voting. I even thought about that. Like I voted for Trump, but like voting is, I'm much more like of a monarchist now, and I don't even want to participate in voting anymore. So I might even just stop doing that altogether. But if you were to believe that we live in democracy, then the logic would go that you would have to win. You would have to actually have something to sell and win. The Democrats, they did this before too. Like Bernie Sanders, as much as I hate that guy, he was a pretty genuine force in the Democratic Party like 10 years ago. And the Clintons like pushed him out because they really wanted Hillary Clinton, the first woman president. And it is hilarious that Trump is like 2-0 now against women presidents. He's like that ultimate female slayer when it comes to politics. But I'm digressing. To kind of wrap this up, guys, like the point I was making is like I'm reading all this stuff about women. It's happening on the right too. Like you have the Megyn Kellys. The really cringe one that's coming up again now is Tomi Lahren. I cannot stand that woman. She is so awful. Because she's so masculine, like the way she talks. She kind of like looks like Malibu Barbie. But like the moment she opens her mouth, she has one of the most annoying voices I've ever heard. Like I would probably rather listen to AOC than listen to Tomi Lahren. And then you have like Megyn Kelly talking about how it's such a travesty that other women won't be able to be like Megyn Kelly because they want to be. It's like, we don't need Megyn Kelly. We don't need Tomi Lahren. Like, what use are you? What do you provide? You provide nothing. You literally provide nothing of value. All you've done is you've made a career for yourself off of this grift, right? They're all feminists. There is no such thing as the right wing as far as the Republican Party goes. Fox News, this is all an illusion. This is complete inversion. And so yeah, on the right and the left now, we got to hear it. We're just going to keep hearing it. That's their strategy, I guess. We're just going to keep hearing it from the media. The media is the problem at this point, guys. They are such a problem. I mean, that's what I do. That's what's giving me ideas for videos these days, is I'm just scrolling the video feed and just the video feed, the news feed, the Bing feed, and I can't even believe these people have jobs. We found out with USAID, with Doge, that I think it was I can't even remember now, Reuters or something. One of the news outlets, they were completely paid for by taxpayer money. Like they actually didn't make an income. The whole thing was a subsidized fraud. I don't know how the news agencies even exist at this point. They are so mask off, blatantly, disgustingly dishonest, evil. And yeah, we're not getting any genuine, other than things like this, right? We're getting it in the non-mainstream, you could say, but this whole goal of containment, right? They just don't want like men to start collaborating. They don't want men to talk to each other. They don't want men to have women. They don't want us to be happy at all. I don't get how this works, like how they think this works. They think that men are just gonna like do stuff with like no reward. I mean, women, we're finding out, can kind of do that because women are really good at fooling themselves. But men just can't do this. We have a call to adventure. We have a call to, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's like every man wants, a beauty to strive for, an adventure to go on, and like a wealth to be obtained or something like that. I probably butchered it, but that is essentially what motivates a man, is that we want to fight for something. We want to, this is going to be a separate video, but we need to work for something. Like, men do have to work, right? We don't really necessarily need like a W-2 corporate 9-to-5 job, but men need to work. Like, making these videos right now is work, right? It's giving me something to do. It's another reason why I started making them again, is because it gives me a way to talk to something, even if it's the void, to give me something to do, to give me something to push forward. This is why men go to the gym, right? We have to do something. We can't just we can't just sit around and check out. And I don't know. This video is it's becoming rambly now, guys. I apologize. So I think I'm going to end it there. But yeah, men are tired of this. We're tired. We're exhausted. There is no political solution. There's no answers politically. Trump, unfortunately, as a man, is going to ultimately be looked back on as he propelled things forward, but ultimately his presidency, I think, will be a failure as things are going. We'll have to see, but I don't think he knows what time it really is. I don't think his admin really understands what time it is. I read something crazy that, like, this is the first time in history where, like, over 300 million, judges are just kind of like blocking everything. Like, everything Trump does, every single thing he tries to do gets blocked up. This is their strategy, by the way. They're going to try to do this so that they can take the midterms, and then after that, astroturf like Gavin Newsom. And I don't know if this is going to work again, but this is their strategy. But then even on the right, we don't know who JD Vance is. We don't know who any of these guys are. They're still tech bros.
Yep.
What?
We're gonna go to the show about 2:10.
Okay. Yeah, they're still tech bros, so we don't really know who they are and what they're ultimately going to do. So the future is very much up in the air, guys, but I think it'll be a good sign. That the Shiloh Hendricks thing is a very good sign. We just need women to kind of like start caring about us again. A lot of the manosphere gets mad when I say things like this, but I just don't care. Like, I don't want to live in a world without women. That's the thing. Like, the goal for me is not to replace women. The goal for me is to get women back to doing what women do best, which is raising children. I don't even know why this is such a radical concept. Like, why do women want to be in an office? It doesn't make any sense. It's all propaganda. Like, I get very upset when I think about these things. Very, very upset. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think. Kind of went all over the place on that one in some areas, but let me know what you guys think about this male crisis, the Democratic Party they're putting all this money, right? Where are they getting the money? Putting all this money to bring back men. Bring back men. Of course, they're going to do it in the most homosexual way possible, but anyway, guys, that is the video. Again, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, comment down below. I appreciate all the support, guys, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.